Hello, 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 everybody. It is Tammy coming to you live this morning for Sunday Sermon. Good morning. I feel like I've not seen y'all in a hot minute. And I got a chance to get a shower this morning, and that is about it. And I was a little self conscious this morning about going live without like doing everything because I met so many people this weekend that I had no idea give us a watch. So, as always, do me a favor, drop a. Grateful Fed in the comments if you're watching, and do me a favor and tag a friend today. Tag a friend today. Drop me a Grateful Fed in the comments. That's going to get everybody up and running. Sunday sermon live now. Live in Facebook now. So message all the admins of the group and let them know. Dennis Casey, you 1 trillion million% could probably retire on the amount of t-shirts are getting ready to come your way, sir. We came out this weekend. We got to go Friday to our first vendor event. It was phenomenal. And we wore our shirts that Dennis Casey made for us. Let me roll around here and show you what I'm talking about in case you have not been to our lounge yet. And please, please, please ignore all of this. My office is a hot wreck right now. A hot wreck right now. But we wore our higher than giraffe, hoo-ha, as Elizabeth Clark would say, t-shirts this weekend to the vendor event, and they were a gigantic, ginormous hit. Good morning, Miss Heather Jones. Heather Jones. Jones. I'm going to start saying that very French. But I'm gonna do this because y'all know how I feel. Just more comfortable with my sunglass, my eyeglass headband on. Anybody else use their readers basically for a headband until until you have to look at them? This is how I do my hair. And then I can change them out when I go out. I take these off and put my sunglasses on. Sweet nectar of coffee this morning. So, as always, say hello. Tell me where you're watching from. Tag a friend. Drop Grateful Fed in the comments. We are live in a bunch of places today. So we are live on the Hometown Hippie business page here on Facebook. Oh, that was almost crazy. I've been dropsies all day, and I saw my coffee just like I had it on the edge of the thing. I was like, that's a whole lot of hot coffee to spill on me during a live. I'm going to set that right over there. I'm not touching it right there. I am live on our YouTube channel. I'm trying to get that up. So if you are watching this in YouTube this morning, do me a favor and get that subscribe button, hit it. Throw me that little heart upper and hit that bell so you know when I'm going to be live because it is broadcasting there over in YouTube. I have posted the YouTube channel here in the Hometown Hippie page, like the private page. So if you would like to do me a favor and like go grab that, share it out, ask people to give me a follow. I am I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Dennis says, I'm glad you had a great event. And Dennis, we did. We had a very, very great event. Um, Hindsight, right? Red and I sat down, we thought about it. We're like, there's some things next time, right? We'll get better every time. He's like, we need a rug to put under our stuff, like a real cool boho rug, because we're not going to be dealing with like grass and bugs on our feet. He said, plus it gives you kind of like a cool looking setting. We know we want to bring another table. We want to have a fan. Now, I did go swipe a fan because it was hotter than hell outside on Friday. And we would have some music and a speaker, So we know there's some things. We want to do the prize wheel. We want to get a chalkboard for sitting in front of it. So definitely for sure we will do vendor events again. We also talked about the fact that sometimes vending is a young person's game. And luckily, my staff, I do have some younger folks that I can 100 million trillion% send out to enjoy the festival, the events, and they can vend and they can very much spread the message. I know that I have to go to some because what I found Friday, I have pretty much been a sappy ass ball of tears all weekend after this event, and I don't know if it's because I was very exposed, and so like I absorbed a lot of energy and gave a lot of energy away. But I met so many of you all. So many of you all that I had not met in person yet. And it was very overwhelming. And I'm like, I got overwhelmed thinking about like the fact that, so for many of you that don't know, I have never gotten to meet face to face, like in the same zip code, the same breath space as Dennis or Heather or any of those people. So when I met the people today that are not, they like, I have been watching you and I've not been commenting a lot or commenting at all or ever buying anything at all, but I have just loved watching you. And I was so excited. And they came up there and they tried us for the first time. So many of you on here that I have not met yet that I'm going to be meeting. I Zoom with you and I, um, message with you and we talk and you order, we have a relationship. So the overwhelming, emotional, feeling that I had to people who, I just know that I share energy with, that I don't even know like face to face really, and how that just like the hug from them and like that love energy that they exchanged, filled me up so much that I am like scared to death to meet one of y'all because I'm like, I don't know if my heart can handle it. And so I want each and every today's going to be one of those crying days. I can feel it already because so many people just let me say this. I don't know how to get my words out something. Good morning. It's not showing me your name, so make sure you're giving Facebook permission or I'm sorry, StreamYard permission to use your name. Sometimes when you're a person who likes to give, right? Who likes to gift, who likes to be of service, who likes to give, right? Sometimes you go through phases where a lot of people, right? A lot of people, um, will, not really a lot of people, but people, not a lot of people, but people will take advantage of that, right? And sometimes when, you're pouring out, you can feel like somebody's not allowing you to pour, but they're like kind of pulling, if that makes sense. Like when I pour into someone, it's very much like, hey, I want to give this. And they take it. When it gets uncomfortable, when you start pouring and they want to pull more. Does that make sense to anybody? Can I get some thumbs up, some hearts, some O faces? It's like, hey, could I gift you this? And they're like, sure, but if you don't mind, I'd really like to get 2 of those because my friend wants one. That's what I'm talking about pulling, right? That makes sense. Or, hey, can I send you a gift? Sure, but like they kind of like tell you what they want. Like I thought it'd be more. Like people have said that to me, like, hey, how'd you enjoy your prize? Well, I kind of thought it'd be something a little better than that, right? And sometimes when that happens, right, it's water off a duck's back. I let it roll right off, right? Let it roll right off. No big deal, right? But over time, when that happens, right, it can chink at you. 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 And, you know, I had gotten to a little place where I was a little like, you know what? Tired. Sometimes I don't feel appreciated, but then it's like a little chink, right? A little chink, a little chink. And I'm like, if one more, I wish I would, right? And I don't like to feel that way. And I had a lot of days by the end of the day, I'm like, whew, I have bit my tongue a lot. I'm being flexible. I'm trying to like stay love and light. But if one more person does some trifling nonsense, right? Um, I'm gonna snap. I'm gonna snap. And some weird things happened last week, and I was there. I had to make an uncomfortable phone call, and I had to say to someone, some things I don't like to say. We are only human, and that's the thing. I did not floodgate it, right? But I had, and the thing is, the phone call I had to make last week was a very legitimate phone call for something very uneasy, right? We were woken up at 6 o'clock in the morning last week, and I have not talked about this publicly because I say I don't attract that kind of weird energy, right? But last week we had a morning where Red was like, 6 o'clock in the morning, there's somebody on our cameras in our yard. And when Red went outside to see who it was, they took off running, right? We knew who it was. We have them on camera, so not a big deal. And we know who it is. And it was probably very not even anything like issue. Like we have a pond and people like to fish and we have some people that we allow to. But the rule is that don't come into our property without speaking to us and having permission to do so. Right? And if you are going to fish, you're going to do it at a time in which, is reasonable, and you're not going to need to be by our vehicles and up by our boats and our storage sheds and our buckets and our plants and all that, right? And so I had to call and I said, hey, who is this? Your renter kind of thing. Our neighbor has a rental house, and that's who it was. And I was like, here's the thing. I was like, if they would like to come speak to us about why they were up in our yard away from the pond at 6 o'clock in the morning and explain to us why they wouldn't stop and speak to the owner of the property when we came outside, then we would prefer them to stay off the property. Just don't come back down here until they can have a conversation with us. And that happened, and then a couple other little things happened, and I was at a point where I'm like, you know what? Am I doing this? Should I just shore up my defenses? Should I say, we have a Grateful Fed community, and I'm not taking any more clients right now. I was at a place last week where my brain, I'm like, you know what? We have a very nice client base. I looked at my square, my client base, and I was like, maybe we should just say, okay, if you have not already become a clientele of the Hometown Hippie, we are not taking any new clients at this time. And to get in, you have to know somebody, get on the waiting list, and I will let you know when you're able to come be a part of it. And that was what my brain was going to. My brain was going to, we're busy. For me to be able to control, maybe I should just set a, we are going into private club. We are going into private club status. Okay, so that's another little thing I'm gonna tell y'all about this week. But we have some things moving, and then I went out to this vendor event. Then I went out. Good morning, everybody. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, Sheila, it was crazy, girl. Good morning. Hello, 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 hello. Right, and my brain went to some weird spots, right? And when I went to this vendor event and I met so many people who need us, right? Good morning, Kim. So many people who say, who said things to me that I didn't know they were listening to. The things that I don't even pay attention to sometimes are the things that matter to people. I had a gentleman stop by the house yesterday, first time customer, long time watcher, right? And he was like, hey, my daughter is a food activist in Maryland, and I love all the things you do to help feed people. And they made a donation to the Grateful Fed Power of One. And the amount of people that said, I was just ready to give up. I was just ready to give up this chronic pain, this no sleep, this life I was living was no kind of life, and I was ready to. And this is what the lady said to me, and I don't want to get in trouble on Facebook. She's like, "Tammy, I'm ready to blow my fucking brains out. I'm tired of hurting, and if this doesn't work, I don't know that I'm going to be here next year." And when she said that, I felt that, right? When she said to me, Tammy, I'm done. I cannot. And here's the thing, when she said that, I felt, and it's the first time that when somebody I've connected with their energy, when they said it, I felt their body. I felt not just like a little like, oh, like I felt a little like anxious, or maybe I felt like, ooh, are you a little nervous, or are you getting enough sleep? Like not that. Like I was I traveled right there. Like I could feel it, and I understood it immediately. It was like kind of like Keanu Reeves, like I know kung fu. I was like, I feel you. So I asked her to let me put something together for her. I sent that, and her nephew, was like, hey, she's cool, and she needed it, and she slept, and she got some sleep. And she said, I just needed some sleep. And I always, and this is what came up to me. This is what this I asked a minute ago for to be a clear and perfect channel and to bring the message you needed to hear, right? And it was interesting to me the amount of, and this is strange because you know how I can put 16 things together, how my guides work, right? everything seems harder, worse, bigger, achier. I feel like everything is amplified. Even things that are silly, right, are distorted, amplified. You get a mixed feeling of reality when you are tired, when you are sleep deprived. Tell me yes or no in the comments. Have you ever have you ever had insomnia? Have you ever had a bad bout of insomnia? Yes or no in the comments. Tell me that in the comments, yes or no. And what we're talking about is, you know, we always think it's tough, right? I was it last week, right? Yes, every night, yes, right? And you know that the mornings that you wake up where you've had zero sleep, and that next day, everything pisses you off quicker. Thing you could be, sometimes it's just you're like, I'm delirious, that was silly, I don't know why. You can't, you're trying to gather your things and you're clumsy. It's like when you're tired, it's like you're not inside your body, right? And I thought about it, right? I thought about it, and everything was itching and getting on my nerves last week, and just kind of like, and I was like, I'm tired. And I'm like, and that's what, and this is the channel message. I didn't know this was coming in today, and it's going to be big and hard and huge. So do me a favor, throw me some thumbs up, some hearts, some O faces, and tag somebody. The world is tired right now. We are all just exhausted. The entire planet is tired. All we need is to stop, take a deep breath, get some rest, and reset. If my brain does not want to shut off often. And that's what's going on with the world today, right? We are all walking around in a perpetual state of distortion. And somebody needs to hear this today. Somebody really needs to hear this today. And if it's not you watching, and you know somebody knows this. This message is for somebody. Don't take a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Every other day you thought was going to take you out of this planet, was going to take you off of your feet, was going to end your world, did not. Just one more day. Just one more day. Just for today. And I'm going to ask you to please, just always get up and say just one more day. Just one more day. Get a good night's sleep and see if you don't feel better. Put clean food in your body, see if you don't feel better. And if you're somebody telling me a nap and a good salad is not going to fix my life, you're right, it's not. But it's going to fix your brain enough for you to fix your life. It's going to pattern her up the stinking thinking just by teaching yourself to write. Just take care of yourself. Cannabis does not fix your life. It doesn't. These videos don't fix your life, right? You are the only person. You have the power. You are divine. If you're like, Tammy, you don't know my life. I don't. I do not, right? It helps, right? It will get you through the moment. It helps. What it allows you to do, what cannabis, what these videos, what the things that make you feel good, right? Thank you, Meredith. And I feel weird being on the TV. I really need to put some makeup on now. What it allows you to do is it allows you to pattern interrupt the stinking thinking for a minute, right? These videos, the reason that I need, like, I want people up here, these numbers to be big. I have numbers up here on my screen. It says 6 people watching. And it says 5 reactions. We've been online for like 20 minutes, right? The reason that I want you here is because it's the power of the collective. It's the energy of the collective. More things get fixed in the comment sections than anything gets fixed on me talking. More things get helped by the fact that y'all see people in need and you go out and you react on their Facebook post, or you send them a message. You say, "Hey, how are you feeling?" Elizabeth Clark has been sick. If y'all could check on her, I know I've been checking on her. My girl, where you at? She's like, "Hey," she'll pop up every so often to say, "Hey, I'm alive." I'm like, I need you to know what's going on, right? So that's how this group makes a difference, right? You're looking beautiful. No one is awake enough to be watching with me. I hear you, Meredith, but I'm telling you, right? I met so many people. Like, I felt self-conscious about coming live looking like this because I always say it's just my friends, and I'm like, you know what? It still is just my friends. It's just friends that I haven't met face to face yet. So I'm like, I'm as authentic as my food. I'm going to come looking like this. But things that I have up here to remind me of these things, right? Never let a stumble in the road. Never let a stumble in the road be the end of your journey. And what I try to do to people is put things into perspective, right? And here's perspective for me. When I was 16 years old, I had a little boyfriend, right? I had a little boyfriend in high school, and we were boyfriend and girlfriend from like 8th grade, right? And my sophomore year, he moved away to another high school because the football program was better, and his parents had the money to like buy an apartment in that little county and send him over there, right? And I was in love. My life was over. Oh, woe is me. You know, my little 16-year-old heart was just broken in a million trillion pieces. I didn't think for anything in the world that I was going to recover from that. I was like, I want to die, Mama. I cannot go on. Oh, I love him. If I would have allowed that moment to death, I would have, think about that. Think about the things that people don't see the forest for the trees for. I don't know, Tammy, that's stupid for what I'm dealing with. And I'm not trying, if you're dealing with something that's like crazy, here's what I'm going to tell you. Number one, what I figured out with all of these things is that in this incarnation, in this lifetime, everything that's going on in our life right now, it's a karmic thing for us. We sign, it's a part of our soul contract. People get so mad about that, right? You get so mad about that. I would not have chosen, like, things, big things, bad things, awful things. I'm like, but you did, because the divine, like the divine in me recognizes the divine in you, and you recognize that divine when you were in heaven, right? When you were in the other realms of the world, right? When you were a soul looking for a body to incarnate, right? Your soul was like, hey, we got this. We know what to do. It's our turn. We're going down here and take care of this for it. Right? We're gonna walk that path, right? You knew it was part of your plan. Everything that happens is exactly as it's supposed to happen. And I know people get so upset, and I have had some shit things happen in the life, and I said, why? Why me? Why me? And I'm going to tell y'all what is going to be. This is the message today, right? Anytime that you say, why me? I want you to change that to why not me? There are things that have happened in my lifetime, and I'm like, why is this happening to me? Then I look at it, I'm like, why not happening to me? I have a roof over my head. At the time, whenever I had cervical cancer, right? When I went to the doctor, he's like, hey, we got some things going on. We did this PET scan. I got taken from, I was never able to have kids. I was never, ever, ever able, and I'm going to share my experience with that. I don't think I've ever told y'all that. My children are my stepchildren, my bonus children. I don't say bonus, I don't say stepson. But because of me not being able to bear children, is such a part of who I am and a part of my journey and why I do what I do and where Hometown Hippie came from, right? I'm going to share with y'all today. Are y'all cool with me sharing this story with y'all today? Let me see if I'm cool with me sharing the story today. So I uh I got married at 30 years old, and I had suffered my entire life with polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is the number one leading cause for infertility of women in the world. It's the number one leading cause of infertility. And when I was 12, the doctors were like, she's never going to have to about having kids, that kind of thing, blah, blah, blah. And my mom said to the doctor, she's like, I would leave the doctor's like, well, I can't have kids. And my mom was like thinking to herself, she's like, yeah, you say that shit, you come up with a baby at 16. And my mom's brain was like, don't tell my 12-year-old you can't get pregnant. So she told her, like, shut your damn mouth. She's like, don't tell her that. That's my child. You talk to me about those things, and then I'll decide what's appropriate. She says, plus, it's 1980s. She's like, in the 1960s, they didn't know what this was, and we can get this fixed now. She's like, you don't know what technology is going to do in the next 10, 20 years when she decides, 10 years when she decides to have kids. What you can say is that you have polycystic. How do we fix that now? Because babies aren't on her agenda at 12. But it's stuck in my craw. It's stuck. You hear doctors say you're never going to be a parent. You're never going to have a child. So at 12 years old, my ego, my personality body, my defense mechanism, my keeping me from ever having to stress and like I didn't know how to process at 12 years old. I mean, now I look back at that. I didn't know how to process at 12. I'm like, well, I don't want kids anyhow. I was like, that's why I've never liked baby dolls, Mom. I'm like, I couldn't have kids, so I didn't need to like baby dolls. So I've never been like a baby doll. Like, I didn't play that kind of thing. I played businesswoman whenever I was a kid. I really did. Like, if my sister gets on here, like, tag my sister and ask her, we would play restaurant. I would be running the restaurant and taking orders, and I didn't play mama and daddy and baby. I was like, I can't have. I don't need to play that to practice. Are we back? Can y'all see me? Am I back? Are y'all here? Hello. I am back. Can y'all see me? I'm trying to see if y'all can see me. I am back. Let's see if y'all here. I don't know what happened. Facebook just did something very strange to me. Yes. Okay. So as I was saying, right? I didn't need to practice mama and daddy. Right? But it never bothered me at all until I got married. And when I met Red, right? And I met Red, and I say it didn't bother me. Like, in my mind, I'm like, I don't need babies. Like, I'm living my best life, right? I met Red, and I met his children, and I saw the fact that, like, like that's part of him. That's part of who he is. It's his legacy. Like he's going to be left behind. There's a piece of him still here on this planet. There is my nieces and nephews started to be born, and I saw the love. Right, I felt that love the first time I saw that mom and dad love. As they, it was. I loved those kids. Like I couldn't imagine. Like I saw my sister have babies, and I'm like, wow. And sorry. And then it didn't hit me until they diagnosed me with cervical cancer at 35 years old, and they had to do a radical hysterectomy like within a week. And when I came out of the surgery, at that point, what the doctor said at 12 years old was finally exactly 100% true. And until that moment, right? Until that moment when I woke up from that surgery and it was done, that's the first thing that rang in my ears, right? It was like, wow, that's true. Mama, you were wrong, Mama. And I told my mom that, and she was with me when all this happened. And but she put it in perspective for me, right? She put it in perspective for me. She's like, when you become a mom, she's like, nothing in the world is more important to you, she said to me, than my kids. She said, she says, I put up with your daddy's bullshit, but I would never put up with his bullshit. I would never let y'all deal with it, right? So my mom, she's like, she always put us first, right? She tried to always, she loved us unconditionally. And just everything you do at that point is for your kids, right? The choices you make, all that stuff, you become. And she says, I want you to think about, and she told me this because we had just gotten custody of Evan, right? My brother, I've shared his opioid addiction story, and, I have helped with his kids a lot as far as monetarily, and my sister with being a single parent and all the things. Like she was a good mom, but I always tried to, she said to me, and even like friends' kids and Evan's school kid friends and friends of ours who were younger that, I owned a bar, and so a lot of the college kids, she's like, Tammy, she's like, I have like you had to be the mom to so many other people that God couldn't give you just your own babies because he needed you to love everybody else's babies that needed it. Right? She says, you needed to be a mom to the masses, not to your own babies. And I was like, but Mama, that's not fair to me because I know that I'm giving mother love, right? I know that I have the capacity to love and to give love. So what I'm sad about is that, right? What I'm sad about is that nothing will ever look at me the way the kids look at their mom. I don't get to see that. Like I don't get to get it back like that. And she said to me, she's like, dude, you're not looking hard enough. She says, because everybody loves you, baby. Did not expect this. You're not looking hard enough. She says, you're not looking hard enough. So I didn't think that I was going to make it after that, right? I didn't think I was going to be able to. I didn't think that I was like, Mom, you're crazy. I'm like, I was after surgery, like in that moment, I was like, yeah, it's different. I said, Mom, I get what you're saying, and I know that they love me because I do know. I can feel it. I said, but it's different. I said, and you know it's different. And don't look at me and lie and say it's not different. She said, you're right, baby. It might be a little different. She says, but you've always been a little different. And there's big things coming for you. And you're gonna help people because you have the capacity for it. And she says God gives his toughest battles to his strongest warriors. And she said the day that you came into this planet, I knew that you were a tough warrior. I knew that you had it in you. She's like, you have carried me when I didn't think I had hope. She says, I've seen you help other people do that. She says, some people deserve, some people get babies. She says, some people get missions. And she says, unfortunately, sweetheart, she's like, I wish, because you want it. My mom wanted me to have anything I wanted. And she says, plus, I don't think you could handle the baby. She's like, it's just think about bitches. You get to give them bitches back when they start crying and pooping. I hear you, Mama. I hear you. She's like, you don't really want to do all that. She'd always make a joke behind it, kind of like I do. And I didn't mean to do all this today. But I remember not wanting to put one foot in front of the other. I remember being in such a place of despair in that moment. And feeling like nobody cared. You just get in those places, right? I was depressed. And I heard all the words she said, and I'm probably just now kind of processing them. Because in that moment, I know that I was like, whatever, woman. I'm like, you don't understand. You had kids. You don't get it. You don't understand. And then fast forward to when Mom passed away. I was at my aunt at her family reunion the summer after my mom passed away, and all her cousins and my family's crazy and loud and obnoxious and ridiculous and all the things. And I was standing in line at their family reunion between people that you've seen 3-4 times your whole life. Maybe you know them, you talk to them on Facebook, you don't really see them, stuff. And if you're from like this area, you can hear this person's voice, like you can hear like sugar. Like sugar, as long as your mama is, long as you are on this planet, your mama is never dead. Your mama is never gone because you are your mama inside and out. You look like her, you talk like her, you act like her, you love like her, you cook like her. As long as you are walking on this planet, your mama's legacy always walks on this planet. And here comes the waterworks again, right? And I'm like, all of those old wounds opened back up. I had healed. I was like, put the wall up. I'm like, wow. Yeah. Heather's right. Heather said, you didn't mean it. You didn't mean it, but you needed to feel it today. You never know why, just know it's what you need in the moment. Also, we needed to hear. I don't know if you need to hear all my nonsense, but in that moment, they talked about how my mom would never not be here as long as I walked the planet. And then I got upset again, thinking to myself that I let my family down. Because I'm like, there's not anything of me that's left behind when I'm gone. I didn't leave a person, right? My sister's got kids, my brother's got kids, Red's got kids. Everybody has a legacy, and here I am. When I'm gone, I'm gone. And will it even matter, right? Will it even matter in a year after I'm gone, anything that I did? And when that person said that, I got all upset again. In my own way, right? I was joking and having fun and like, yeah, you're right about that, Mom, blah blah blah. She taught me how to eat, I got a physique too, because it was probably a month before my journey. It was about a month before I got up in the mirror and was like, I'm done feeling like this. And that was the precipice that was the precipice of the journey of reclaiming me and creating a legacy um, left behind. And that's why Hometown Hippie is so much a soul's mission for me, right? The Grateful Fed, the charities. My mom said, you just have to leave it a little bit better than you found it, right? Everything you do just is due to your ability, like you own, like you own the business. Just when you do something, do it with all your heart and leave the place a little better than what you found it. That's all you have to do, and you've been a success in this world. Heather, I love you for that. I don't feel like that every day. I don't feel like that every day. Um, I feel like imposter syndrome with that. Like I feel like there is a I want to do so much more. Like I want to give so much more, and it's because right I'm pouring in because it's that mama love, right? And that's why I think that it matters. It's authentic. But what I'm saying all this for is not for that, and I love you for that, and I appreciate that, right? And that makes me feel better, right? Makes me feel better about a legacy, right? But what I'm saying is that I have had moments of despair when I didn't think that anybody would care whether I was here or I was not here. And I have those days. I guess there's no Freudian sleeps. I probably have those days. We're like, does it really even matter? At the end of the day, you get inside of your head, right? You get inside your head, and I know all those things, Sheila. I know it. Like I know it, right? I know it. But what somebody out there does not know it. I would never. I'm in it for the long haul, right? And I will replenish my energy, and I will do the things I need to do. And I'm just showing y'all that like there are things, right, that have taken my legs out from under me. And those are just some simple things. There's been some things that happened in college on alcohol with, I've shared things in other groups that I have been through stuff. And then I'm like you take a licking, you keep on ticking, right? You get knocked down like one of those punching bags, you get knocked down, you do this, and you go, like, all right, I'm back. What's going on? What are we doing? Right? Because there's always a solution, right? There's always a message in your mess. And that's what we talked about. And for some reason, these messages come up over and over because somebody else, you need to hear it. If you're living in a place right now, like Tammy, I can't do it anymore. I'm done. Right? I'm going to tell you this. If your mess is not your message yet, keep going. Because in every mess, there's a message. Sheila, I told her story last week. She shared her gastroparesis story. It helped somebody else. Right? People share their stories. Somebody needs to hear them. When y'all say you make such a big difference in our lives, right? I'm going to tell you, I connect the people that need to be connected. Y'all make a big difference in each other's lives. But no matter what is happening right now, sometimes just a pattern interrupt. Just a pattern interrupt can help you to regather your bearings, right? Maybe you need to go ground. Maybe you need to take a puff off your bowl. Maybe you need to eat an edible. Maybe you need to go sit down somewhere and act right for a minute, right? Get your shit together. Maybe you need to go for a walk outside. Maybe you do need to put down the sodas and pick up a glass of water, right? And people get mad when like, oh, here's the thing. Do those things, right? No matter what it is. Taking a chance to kind of take a deep breath and put yourself in the things that you need first. With the lady who I helped, who said Tammy, and I felt every piece of it. I'm done. She's like, this doesn't work. I'm done. When I cooked her food, I said, I need this to work. I need this to do exactly what it's supposed to do because this woman needs to be here. She has a story to tell. She's going to come out of this on the other side with a message out of this mess. And God help her do that. Hands on Reiki on. I'm like, come on now. The medicine knows where it needs to go. And she said, I just needed to get some sleep to clear my brain. I know I was talking crazy, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, see what sleep deprivation can do, right? So when people say, why do you have 1,000 milligrams? Or why do you have 250 milligrams? Why do you have 5s and 10s? Because somebody needs to go to sleep. and they need to go to sleep and sleep for like 15 hours and wake up and keep their shit together. um, oh, sometimes the hardest thing to deal with grow you in ways you wouldn't expect. Do the harder thing. That is a lesson I have learned. If there's an easy thing and a hard thing, and you're like, I can do this easy thing and get it done, or and your body's like, but you really should do that. You're like, I don't want to do this. When you don't want to do it, it's your personality body telling you not to, or ego. You should probably do the harder thing. I always do the harder thing, right? Do the next, when I'm feeling bad, another thing I want to tell you to do, if you're like, Tammy, I don't know how to like climb out of this, here's how you start. Okay. So if you're somebody who's feeling that way, I told you there's a message today. Somebody that they're into it. They're like, I just don't know how to fix my life. Nobody would care if I was here or not, blah, 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 all the things. What I want you to do is this. If you are feeling like you can't go on tomorrow, don't think about 2 weeks from now, right? I want you to reach for the next best feeling thought. Does that make sense? Reach for the next best feeling thought. If I'm feeling down, like, what's the next best thing I could feel like? What is the best thing I could come out of this? Look for the next best feeling thought and climb your way out. Next best feeling thought. Okay, where am I at here? Next best feeling thought. And just use it like little knots on a rope to climb yourself out of despair. It may not happen in one day. It may take you a month of next best feeling thought, right? We do amazing things as a group. And I love you. I love each and every one of you. And I am so proud of all of the things that you do for one another. Heather reaches out. Heather checks on people. Sheila comes in, and all of y'all do all those things. You send messages, you comment, you like, you support, you interact, all of the things. And I appreciate y'all so very much for that. Hello. Hey, darling. He went fishing this morning, so he just got back in the house. I was making sure it was him because of all the craziness. I was like, somebody didn't say hi. He knows a lot, but. So we have been on for 47 minutes today, and I'm really, 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 really trying my dead level best to stay within an hour. So we are going to pull our it's under here, our collective card today, our crystal card for our journaling and things like that. So what I'm going to ask each and every one of you to do today is to remember the power of one. Remember that every day you have the ability to go out and change the world for one person. And a lot of days that person has to be yourself. And by helping yourself, you'd be amazed at the people that you bring along for the ride. I went out, and that was Friday was a project. It was to fill my cup up, right? I was like, I'm gonna go out and fill my cup up today. I'm gonna go and be out in public and do the things. My husband came, my son came, and Mel was gonna come, but had to get things happen. But she'll be there next time. My boys were there, and they showed me that they appreciate me, and they took time off work, and they set things up, and they represented the brand amazingly, and that meant so much to me. And in filling my cup up, right, and them taking care of me, I got to meet so many people, and I know that I touched them because they told me. And I got to see faces of names on here and see them in person. And like, can I give you a hug? I'm like, you certainly can. And so you never know when you go out and you practice power of one, where when you might go out and say the power of one today is going to be this, and your power of one might be multiplied by 1 million. It might be multiplied by 10 million. You just never know. Yeah, it's mind blowing. It really is. So we're going to pull our daily crystal card. I'm sure it's going to probably blow us away. Yeah, talking to birds of a feather, y'all. We're gonna go Saturday for color. So here's the tattoo. So it's gonna have phoenixes that go over, right? Like the phoenix is coming out of it, and then it's gonna go into feathers down this arm with a dream catcher with phases of the moon kind of idea. Now I say that we will see what happens when this one gets done right here, because that might be it. Because it's short. But they say this is really sensitive, so this stuff might not be that bad. I may be fine with that. Okay. Now, before I pull the crystal card today, I do want to show y'all the Munchie of the Month box, because they started going out. So I want to let y'all know something that I have not told y'all about, and I was waiting till today to tell you. Okay, so I'm going to show y'all this real quick. This is this month's Munchie of the Month box, right? We are doing a contest this month And you're going to get the Back to Basics box, okay? 8 hours, nope, couldn't do it, not for a nope. You're going to get your animal crackers, which are adorable, by the way. They are absolutely adorable. You're going to get your little animal crackers, a 6-pack of animal crackers. Also, we tested our product, and these are a little stronger. They're probably 10 to 15 milligrams each for cookies. So go. They are so good. Did you also get your? We're going back to basics, and we are having an adult coloring contest for the Munchie of the Month box. So everyone who submits your picture, so inside of your box also comes crayons and a picture, right? A little stoner, look at SpongeBob's little bowling. I love it. So this, everybody's got different pictures, right? There's different pictures. Let me get that. Focus back on me. You're getting crayons in your box, and we're going to do a coloring contest. So post your pictures, right? And we're going to vote on the best picture. Whoever gets the best loves, likes, all the things on your picture. So go ahead and get them colored and posted. The quicker you get your box, the more chances you have to get your coloring done. You can submit your picture, and then we will give someone who submits their picture a chance to win a free Munchie of the Month box for September. It's back to school. I thought it'd be fun. Y'all know how we do. Now, the other thing is that our farm to table raffle is still going. We have got spots left for that, and I cannot raffle it off until we get it full. Okay, so our farm to table will start as soon as the raffle gets full. Don't forget, for $20 shot, you can also donate one to charity. And I've sold I gotta update the list today. I sold 5 more tickets and a couple more for charity. You're gonna get everything you need to start your own process of growing your own medicine. You get your tent, your light, your autopot system, which is a hydroponic system. You're going to have your nutrients, your seeds, your soil, along with a 12-week master grow class. That is going to give you a $20 shot for that. If you don't win, you get $20 off the price. It's $1,000 value. You can get it at my discount for $700. So it'd be $680 if you want to purchase it after the raffle, and you get all of those things. That is an amazing, amazing, amazing value. So we're going to get that sold out, and we have, like I said, we have a charity ticket you can buy, because I have a local veteran who needs to grow their own medicine and can't afford a setup like that, and they can only grow what they can grow outside, and we only got 2 growing right now, so that'll be enough for their medicine for the year. This gives them a chance to grow their own medicine and take care of their PTSD and their TBIs and all of the things that they're dealing with. And I would love to be able to gift this to them if they win. So if you would you're like, I don't want to grow, I have no desire to do that, but you want to donate a $20 ticket to him or to them, that family, then you can buy a $20 donation ticket. You can sponsor that ticket, and then you can gift that to the veteran who is in need. And let me tell you what, you talk about a grateful Fed, they will be very grateful. I told them that we were doing this for them the other day when they came out to get their anniversary gift, and they had goosebumps and they cried and they were like, "You're too much," and I'm like, "I'm just enough," and it was a whole thing. Did I just drop one out? So we're going to do 7 today. 1, 2, something's weird. 3, 4. Oh. Oh, sorry. Things were weird. Okay, here we go. All right. Apocalypse. Apocalypse. Stay positive. You've got to accentuate the positive, navigate the negative. I don't know. That just song came in. Apocalypse. Stay positive, right? Stay positive. Keep your head up and your hopes high. Instead of focusing on all the things that can go wrong, it's important to focus on all the things that can go right. Direct your attention to all the positives in your life and allow them to motivate you. This goes right along with our message today. Whatever you think you can't get through, I want you to stop that stinking thinking, pattern interrupt, reach for the next best feeling thought, and stay positive. Focus on the things that are going to go in right in your life. Direct your attention to the positives. Allow them to motivate you. Stay grateful in the moment. Allow yourself to be excited about a prospect or opportunity. Why ruin all the fun and the second guessing and what ifs? A positive mindset, one centered on hope rather than fear, can overcome almost anything. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. Let it flow towards the positive. Wow, y'all. So keep accentuate the positive, right? Core questions. These are going to be your journal questions for the week, yo. Let's see here. Very high vibrating, right? Um, what do you feel the most positive? Or when do you feel the most positive, right? When do you feel the most positive? What aspects of your life are good? How would it feel to focus only on the positives? And those are the things that once you get a good night's sleep and you kind of reset and you put some good food in your body, you can really do. After that vendor event the other night, I was exhausted. And we came home and I'm like, I want to have some food. I want to take a shower and I want to sit in my chair because those things are kind of like a reset for me. Those are my energies, like taking off the bra. I mean, I'm not even wearing one today, right? I'm doing my best around here not to have one on. But I had to have one on in public, and I was like, nope, can't do it. I will be positive and spread that positivity, right? Um, but don't forget to just focus on the positives, right? Focus on the positive things if you're having one of those moments. Crystal affirmation. So your affirmation this week, when you get up in the morning, look yourself in the mirror and say, I live in a state of positivity. I live in a state of positivity. Today, raise your vibration by focusing on the good things that happen throughout your day. And if you're from Farmville, if you're from this area, there used to be a store here called Harris Teeter. And there was a lady named Jane that worked in Harris Teeter, and she was one of those people when you were like salty and feeling like feeling salty, you could not be around Jane. She could be ringing people up. She was a best cashier, a much older lady, and she had this real high pitched voice. She talked just like this, and you would walk in, hey, honey. Every time that door opened, you heard her voice if she was in that store. Welcome, hey y'all. You could be in the most shit mood. She'd be ringing you up, and I remember going in like, that bitch is in here. I cannot take all that positivity today. And now I am positivity Jane, right? So I want you to have those positive vibes. If you think that it's sickening, be sickening. Sometimes you have to reach for that next best feeling thought, and the first one you can grab onto is positivity. And the next best feeling thought is to raise the vibration away from those low vibing negative feelings, right? Everything happens from two places, fear or love. So positivity comes from love, uh, negativity comes from fear. Excited comes from love, nervous comes from fear. So change your frequency, change your vibration, change from a negative Nancy to a positive Patty, right? Change from a jackass Jim to a jamboree Johnny. I don't know, I'm making shit up there, right? So um thank you for allowing me to come into your living rooms or your phones or your TVs or your iPads or your computers or your ear holes or whatever I'm coming in through. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the Grateful Fed community. Thank you for being a part of the child that I built. Right? It's like weird science. Thank you for being a part of my soul family. And helping me to raise this baby that I call the hometown hippie. We have a lot of things coming. A lot of things coming. Heather knows about it. I've talked about it on TikTok. I have not shared it here publicly yet. I do not want to share ever. I've talked to a lot of y'all about what's happening. We are opening a storefront. We are opening a storefront with a complete cultivation and grow supply store. We are partnering with Peachview Hydro on getting our store open. We are also going to open up a farm to table organic grocery. I've gotten all of my farmers and this is my eggs. This is my egg person. I'm not showing their numbers. This is my eggs. This is one of my farms that is coming in with all the things that they do, right? We have a beef guy. We have jellies and jams and all the things. And we're gonna be able to offer some private event catering. I've got my first little catering gig for local. We are a one-stop shop. We're also going to have the Grateful Fed private club. And each and every one of you are members, are, what do they call them? Like founding members of the Grateful Fed club. And you will have discounts at the Grateful Grocer and at Heart of Virginia Hydroponics, which is the store. We have found our location. I should hopefully procure the lease for sure, 100% done next week. The landlord was out of town. We talked all the things through text. It's all kind of like a verbal right now. I'll have all the details of it next week when I, sign the things. Once we have that done, we will take you through the process in which you see the things. It's a lot. It's a lot, and we're going to take it step by step. We're going to take breaths, and we're going to let it happen as it's supposed to happen. And I will share more about it whenever I have more to share about it. But last week I was feeling like this is maybe not what I needed to do. Maybe I needed to do this. Or I was having those fear moments, right? Nothing like a good rest, a good reset, a good change of vibration to put things in perspective. For every single person who's hearing me now or later who came out and gave me a hug or said kind words to me in person, that I'm total strangers. If I met you at the Peaksview Hydro event on Friday, because I met a lot of cool people. There's a lot of new folks in here that I met there. Thank you. Thank you for taking your time to come up there, to use your gas money, to use your energy to come see me in person. It meant more than you could ever know. I'm so glad that you're here. If you're here, you're supposed to be. And for all of you who have been my hippie horde now for a while, you lift me up. You give me the energy. You give me the strength. I appreciate you all. When I am weak, you are strong, and I appreciate it. And when I say the divine in me recognizes the divine in you, I certainly believe it, and I recognize it. Also, we are going to have the opportunity with the stores, right, to be able to franchise those out. The whole plan is that you cannot be a global citizen without a thriving Main Street, and we start one hometown at a time. This is my hometown. I can help you to create the same vision in your hometown if you want it. Okay, let me get this one done, and then we'll come out and see you at your hometown and help you build your hometown hippie Grateful Grocer as well. Because we don't believe anybody should be in a food desert, and that everyone should be able to have access to clean, local food that they know where it came from. The government's not sticking antibiotics and shit in it, right? So, who would have thought that you're making? Let me tell you what, Heather. I would say that, but I'm going to be honest. We have a beautiful hometown. We have lots of things to offer, and you will very much be very welcomed here and very much loved here. So we can't wait to have every single one of you, and you will all be getting a personal invitation from me for the soft opening. When it happens, you'll be the first ones. I'm giving Grateful Fed the first option before we open it to anybody else. I'm going to do a Grateful Fed event, so don't worry about that. On that note, I'm 3 minutes more than I wanted to be, but that's not terrible for how we're getting there, right? So, I love each and every one of you. Peace, love, and feast. And as always, stay elevated. Thank y'all. I love you.